Wait. Yo. Gather round. Let's talk about the grind. Government cheese, it's a hustle on wine. Podcast rolling, we breaking the mold. Telling our stories, the truth unfold. From the hood to the mic, we're claiming our seats. Stay tuned, listen close, feel the heat.
Yo, welcome to another edition of the Government Cheese Party Podcast. I'm the one and only Psycho J. And alongside with me is Dave the Headache and CJ Rich. Later on in this show, hey, it was prom weekend.
Next subject.
Damn. Why next subject?
Prom. Fuck prom, dude. I never went to prom.
I never did either.
So what the fuck are we doing here?
I don't know. I was just saying, like, you know.
All right.
We was doing prom, you know.
So next subject. I think that conversation reached its peak.
Reached its peak.
Yeah.
Reaches formality right there.
Yeah, because fuck prom. Prom sucks. Yeah, I mean, like. Well,
turn your mic on.
I have no regrets about prom, about going to prom and not going to prom. I don't feel like I missed anything, and that's just where that's at.
That's what
I don't think it's more so to other people. I think it's just to have that memory that you can't replay again. Like, I think that's the big thing for me, is why I'm pushing my sons to do it, to kind of do at least one.
Right.
So I'm most definitely pushing them in and trying to get them to experience everything that I know that you can't go back and replay and you can regret later.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest thing. I think it wasn't really more so the actual prom itself, right? It's just the memory of having that memory to go back on, like, hey, I did do prom and it was like this for me, or it's like that for me.
Right.
Just knowing that you can't redo it, you can't repeat it. It's almost like time.
Right.
We don't get time back.
No, you don't. And
by the way, what's up, y'all? I'm sorry, I just came in and having a conversation.
I feel like I get that perspective, but also that's where a lot of prom night dumpster babies are from,
Yeah, I mean, so
So
legit. I feel that. But I think
dodged a bullet.
Yeah, dodge a bullet, most definitely.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, I guess it all depends on your character in that moment. Because for me, the last thing I was thinking about in that moment was guys. That wasn't my thing.
Right. Well, that's the only thing guys are thinking about in that moment.
Yeah. So it's. I mean, I'm pretty sure that there were guys out there that I might have, you know what I'm saying, but I don't see myself. I don't really see myself like actually physically sleeping with somebody that night.
Right.
I think it was more so that it's almost like a rite of passage to adulthood, right? To me,
I guess
it's
for
like
some people, yeah.
It's like you go out and you might do some things that you wouldn't have normally done, like go to parties or because during high school times I didn't do like those parties. I didn't do none of that stuff because first off, I didn't feel like I was old enough to do so. But again, once I got to that teenage phase,
it sounds like just an introduction to all the negative shit that's
I mean,
going to be
guess
available
maybe,
to you in adulthood.
Right. Well, I mean, and that's true. And I think some of the things people don't even look at it like this. I think maybe it's just me and how I look at it. But I've experienced so much of life, right, that now, like once how you get those milestones, right? You turn 16 and you start really trying to get into boys or girls or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You might do that a little bit earlier, some people, but either way.
Right.
16 Sweet 16 is fabulous, right? And then the next phase that you're looking at then is 18, right? Oh, 18. Now I can legally go to certain things, right? or buy things that I probably shouldn't be,
Right.
shouldn't be buying, right, at 18.
Right.
And then 21 is that next phase, right, that drinking phase. Now, I started everything a little bit earlier. So for me, besides obviously the sexual acts and boys and stuff like that, I like boys earlier on, but I didn't ever really act on them, and sexually didn't act on them.
Right.
And so I guess by the time I was 18, I still didn't have that interest. It's like I never really understood why that was so important. And I guess that coming from a product of a person that's been molested, I guess that's kind of one of those things. So, but either way, that's deep. I didn't want to go that deep, but
you just went that deep.
But coming, I didn't want to go that deep. That's why I'm trying to back up. But you're keeping it going. That's why it's gonna go. So,
I get it.
So stop it. So all right. So at 18.
Was that before the molestation, or was that after?
That was, that's after. It's after. But what I'm saying is, like, I was saying that's the reason why maybe I didn't have that mindset, you know what I'm saying, of sexual acts. But at 18, I was just like, oh shit, I can go buy my own cigarettes, because I've been smoking cigarettes since I was 11 years old.
Right.
So that was a milestone for me. Like, it was one of those things, I could go buy my own shit, and I can get in strip clubs. That's just kind of where my brain went.
See, okay, so I don't understand that. You know, like why is a strip club, for a heterosexual woman, like
I don't know. I mean, maybe because it was off access, so like it was something that I could not do. And I've heard people talk about them. I heard how much fun they've had in these clubs. You got to think about it. I hung out with majority guys.
You also got to think about too. I mean, majority of the women is just like, they're more, I guess.
We're supportive of the strippers. Let me just say that.
Well, hold on, whoa! I wouldn't even go that far, but I think they're more along the lines of one supporting, but also kind of dabbling in it as well.
Like they want some of that life.
More than guys.
They want some of that
let
life.
me just say this though: I've gotten put out of more strip clubs than most guys probably have been.
Right.
Why? Because of fighting?
No, it's not even the fighting aspect of it. It's the fact that the bouncers and stuff like that thought we were in competition with the strippers.
Oh, God.
So we got put out because of the fact that we were there. We dressed up nice as women, and the guys are paying more attention to us than they is to the strippers.
All right.
So that we got put out of clubs on pure principle that we were taking the money out of the strippers' pockets.
Man, I remember those type of women that would come in. Again, they said not stripper, but they come in and like they do compete, like the ones I'm talking about.
Some of them might try to, but we weren't trying to do that. We were just trying to have fun. We put money in the dang on strippers' underwear. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, we are the people.
but those ones that do that, like, because you remember, because there was a couple incidents where like that kept happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and they are fucking annoying, dude. Like, there's nothing worse than a girl that's not a stripper, getting up and dancing and doing all this shit, and then and knowing that they
People are trying to eat off of this.
Well, I'm also but you can give them the same attention that you would an actual stripper because all it's gonna take is like the wrong person touching them or something like that, which you shouldn't be touching anyways. But the wrong person like touching them or something like that, and then they make a whole fucking deal about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, leave it to the professionals, you bitch. Like, we were all trying to have a good time. But I mean, but at the same time, it's like none of those women that honestly that are up on a thing. They're what I think what it proves is that a normal woman, or I wouldn't even say normal because that just kind of downgrading them. But I feel like any woman can do what those strippers are doing. That just shows you that it doesn't really, you know what I'm saying? It's not value. It's no real value to what they're providing.
It's sad though, but I mean and there's some women that are they are smoking fire. Like they get up there and everybody in the room is. I mean, because but I still have a point to go to, by the way. But it's like like stuff like that. So you look for little goals, right, that you go through. And I mean, like I said, I did everything a little bit earlier because I was that person that I was able to talk myself into wherever I wanted to go. So I had been to the strip club before I was 18.
Right.
Now it's stuff like that. And at 21, I had been drinking way before I was 21. So like by the time I hit that milestone,
Took over the show.
It means nothing to you.
It means zero to me now. Right. Like, I mean, at this point now, here I am, 40, about to be 41 at the end of this month, and I feel like I've done so much that the partying and the going out and the doing all this stuff, it has zero value to me now.
Well, in retrospect, with that is like like somebody like me, I didn't do really much of any partying or any of that, and I feel grateful that I didn't have those experiences because
I can see that.
Yeah, because where I'm looking at it, like everybody that I know that went too deep in it, his backfire was negative, and even ones that did it, like they don't have good stuff. I know that like when Bob fucking punched all those dumbass stories.
Those are stupid stories. Like I want to have fun with my stories. Like I'm not trying to.
Not even that they're just stupid, but they were destructive. You know what I'm saying? Like.
I mean, but those are the prime ages to be destructive in. Now, if I go out there as a 40-year-old woman and do some of the destructive things that I did when I was 18, 19, and 20 years old, I'm looked at differently. Right. So, like, I feel like. I did what I was supposed to do in my prime ages and when I was supposed to do them.
I get that, but I guess just
and
on
I
the
learned
on the
my
other
lesson
side,
obviously because I'm sitting where I'm sitting now. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
I'm not.
But I think a lot of people have that that fear of that was it FOMO, was it the fear of missing out, or,
yeah.
And like and I don't have that, so it's easy for me to say that, to know that I haven't done something, and also be like, okay, so the benefits of that heavily outweigh the
I mean, and
other
it would have
side.
looked different, I guess, and that also a lot of stuff that we do in life. There is a big difference between the male perspective and the female perspective on it, right. And it's going to be that way because I feel like not all females think like I think, obviously, but right. I think I have there's a bigger population of them that do think in this manner. Right. To where, like I said, I don't like clubs. I have never liked clubs. Right. Okay, so
I hate clubs.
I mean, I've never liked going clubbing because I don't like to be touched.
Right.
And when you go to clubs, what do you have? You have shoulder to shoulder action. Okay, right. And no matter which club you go to, they're all packed like that. I prefer to go to bars. Now, not everybody has that same, at least in my circle, they didn't have that same that outlook.
Right.
So I experienced these clubs to where I stood off in the corners by the tables, okay? Like I might go out there and dance for a little bit just to kind of appease the people that were around me, but that I didn't really want to be there. So right. That, I guess, goes into the aspect of like what you were saying, like, I could have not experienced that and been okay.
Right. Yeah, you
know what I'm saying? Like that would have been something that I would have been able to let go of.
Right.
But there's certain things that I refuse to. I like the fact that I have the memories of those things because now I not only have something that I can tell my children,
right? Hey,
well, this is what this is about. Are you sure you want to go down this road?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you at 18, I can't tell you to not go down this road. You know what I'm saying? I can advise against it, but I'm telling you, this is what it ends up to be.
Right.
I think that's for me. That's how I looked at it.
Yeah, I mean, but I guess in my perspective, I'm just like, most kids aren't going to fucking listen to, like, even if you tell them your experience. A kid, if whatever they want to do, that's what they want to do, and whatever they don't want to do, that's what they. True. I mean, so like that, that having that in the chamber. I mean, I'm sure it holds some sort of value, but I think just as equally is that when you can show examples of situations, within that. Weird. and you missed. And you missed. No.
Hold on, wait. One more time. I'll throw it harder.
Okay. Okay, all right. So he lost the eye. His eye's rolling on the floor now. Okay, there's that.
Oh,
Hey, pick
shit.
your fucking eye up, dude. But no, but like yo, like it's like you squished it. You squished it. You don't break an eye, bro. That's not what you do. You
I don't know how
can't
you
you
can
can't
break
break
it.
an eye, dude. You
It's
squish
something
it.
squishy.
But no, I mean like yo, I just I feel like yo, if you've ever experienced FOMO, then okay, yo, my perspective won't work. But for me, like, there's certain things that I do wish I would have experienced because of the benefits that I've seen from others.
Right.
But that list is very low. Like extremely low. You know what I mean? Like I'm glad I never, I never did the party thing, especially at high school. High school parties are stupid.
Yeah, I mean,
High
I
school
didn't
parties
do
are
that.
straight pointless and dumb and stupid.
Oh Lord, that's
That's
like stripper club.
that's techno. That's a techno gay bar, bro. Like,
Man.
that's sausage party right there.
Straight up sausage.
You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. What about you? You fucking asshole. What do you? What?
They're giving us
what-
porno music.
Right.
Yeah. I got to give that. But no, I hate going to clubs. I hate going to any gathering whatsoever. It's fucking.
He literally does. Like, I have to force him into stuff like that. Like, legit.
Because I mean,
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, everybody got to understand. Like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to have a conversation with you. I don't want to interact with you.
If I wanted to talk to you, we would have talked before this event. Yeah, I get that.
I mean, but when it comes to certain things, like you kind of, as an adult, have no choice but to kind of have these gatherings.
Not I. No.
I mean,
you
but,
definitely have a choice.
I mean,
For
you have
sure.
a choice, but the choice is going to be dire to your future. So, like some of especially with some of the like work meetings, you have to do that.
Okay.
There's got no choice in that matter, right?
Well, that's depending on what industry I guess you're in, but yeah.
Well, in what position you hold. So, like, no matter what industry you're in, if you're in
All
a
right,
supervisor role, you're going to have meetings.
Let's clarify.
So-
Let's clarify. Okay. Yes, that's true.
But it sucks, right?
But I'm talking. Yes, it sucks, and I don't really want to.
But you kind of suck through them. You gotta push through them.
But
And
I'm
that's
talking
life.
about. I'm not talking
and
about
also
that.
that's
I'm
not
talking-
really true about all industries, but okay.
As a supervisor, you don't think so?
absolutely.
Well, let's because we could go on forever. Let's finish. Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. You kind of put it in two separate things. Like, all right, business wise, okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to suck it up and deal with it. Yes, that's part of the job.
But and plus meetings are different. They're not really
Yeah.
get-togethers.
Yeah, I'm talking about get-togethers. I'm talking about people that I went to school with, people that and all this little
Family and
family
friends
shit
and
and
so-called
school
acquaintances.
reunions,
Yeah.
shit like that. Like, I'm not. That's a waste of my fucking time. I
It
don't
absolutely is.
how is okay? So this is where we're going to differ in that matter, and I respect your opinion. I respect it all the way, 100%.
I mean, she does.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
what
still
it is.
I'm still not gonna not force them to go to these events. But again, and that's just me being me. I it's not like I force him for real. I just
Right.
kind of talk him till he says whatever I'm going. Okay, so, but again. So, but with those events, just like with this last event, if we weren't to go into, not go into details with this event, you learned some stuff that is very necessary for your history. And I feel like if you don't have, you saying, but at the end of the day,
I said,
a lot of a lot of your family members, you know what I'm saying, and you in particular will benefit from some of this information that is to move forward.
Now that part.
And-
Now, yes, okay.
That's why it's important. That's
But-
why they're important, because you have to. I mean, how else are you going to get that information? Because
But-
obviously they're not just going to willingly come bring you
But I
that
mean,
information.
Right.
but if you think about it anyway, I mean, the damage was already done anyway.
Oh
years
no, the
before.
damage most definitely was done.
So again,
but
even-
the damage was
even-
done because you got to think about it. You never circularized yourself. You never put yourself in a position to get to know that knowledge.
Okay, court.
And in families, knowledge is power.
Number one.
I feel like Jay could have died without without any of this information and been fine.
Pretty much,
I think it's where I'm hearing like it's like,
I could have died in a very more easier way, not knowing that than just to sit there and say, yeah, I mean.
right.
I mean,
Well, I just feel like this the life in general.
It was already-
I don't know what you're
knowledge
talking
base.
about, and but I just feel like Jay just like it's probably interesting, but it's probably like I could have not known that at the same time. You know what I mean? Like I
it's
don't know.
a little bit of
We
it.
can't even go into detail with it, but if you understood what it was, Dave, you would understand why I take importance on it.
All right.
Now it's just it, and not even for Jay himself, but for Trey.
All right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, I think for me, I'm always thinking about what is going to be for my children, not for me, because at the end of the day, I've lived life. I'm living life. I'm trying to make the life better for them. And so that's why it's so important. And then especially in this day and age, you never know. You could roll up on a cousin and don't know that they're your cousin or your one of your family members and mess around and date them. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's so many things in that manner of why it's important for families to get together, because a lot of bullshit comes out of it when you don't.
But as you think about it, the more and more years go by, I mean, think about it. Who does family reunion anymore? Sometimes
I thought you was gonna say something else.
Yeah, well,
I thought you were saying like the more time goes by and the more generations split apart. How bad is it to fuck your cousin? You know?
yeah. Well, Dave, you just literally gave me a Kentucky answer.
I
Look,
should've
Lord
did that.
have mercy.
Yeah, straight up.
Oh my goodness!
Straight
I
up.
can't look. I'm from the north. I am most definitely a Yankee,
Hey,
and
stop
I'm not
first
sleeping
cousins.
with my fifth cousin or my sixth cousin. Okay,
Right.
it's not happening.
it just goes down the line.
Yeah, no. Can you give me my?
It all goes to the same mess.
Yeah. It just goes right into the same just whore status there. It just
Right.
goes there. It's like, all right.
It's all the same mess at the end.
Yeah. It's it. That's it. That's all.
Hey man, that is some trailer shit right there, buddy.
Yeah.
But I don't give a fuck about
Cookies and milk, boy.
about get-togethers much either because like at some point
Put them in the bowl.
you got to be honest about how much you value time with certain people. You know what I mean? Like, because like it's one thing to do it for the sake of like the older generation, because you want to give them the sense that we all still love each other and all that stuff, even when we don't, and give them that sort of security or whatever. But and I mean, and there's no but about that. That's what you want to do. But at the same time, it's just like being honest with yourself. It's like, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna pretend.
Well, I don't mind telling my older generation that I don't like some of my family. Look, let me just say this: I can only be real with them, and I will tell them in a minute. You ask any of my aunts and uncles, they know which ones I don't. I know they know who I don't mess with.
I feel like it's none of their business.
Like, it might not be none of their
I mean,
business.
I
but
don't even feel the need to even
book.
tell them. I mean, I will be
I don't
there.
tell them out loud. They just know.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's one of those things
Okay,
that it's
well,
not
yeah.
something that I'm visibly like. You could just tell who I mess with and who I don't mess with. You
Right.
get what I'm saying? Now,
And it's
I
clearly
am
not you.
Yeah, and let me just say, I can be associates with some of my family members, but that's as far as I'm throwing you. I don't trust you, and I'm not going to be with you. If I feel like you're going to be, I can't. You're going to be drama in my piece, I'm going to drop you off. Like, I still love you, but I'm going to love you from a distance.
Yeah,
You know, and that's just period. Like, they know. They
Right.
know. It's obvious that the ones that I don't communicate with.
Thank you guys for joining and listening to the Government Cheese Party podcast. I've noticed that we are on RSS.com. And RSS.com has been pushing our content for the past month and a half. And I've noticed a whole bunch of you guys overseas and in states listening to us. Continue to follow us.
Yes,
hit the
what's
subscribe.
up, y'all?
Follow us each and everywhere where you listen to podcasts, on YouTube or on TikTok. You can definitely follow us anywhere of those on those platforms. Definitely, and on Amazon as well too. Amazon, Alexa. You can. I mean, I'm actually surprised at how many people have literally gathered and actually listened to us. And I definitely wanted to take the time.
I feel like they're not gathering though. You know, they're just
no. They're
I don't
like
think they put out
randomly
a
listen to us.
just hovering around their transitional radio.
transitional.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
I thought it was
That's what he said. We're gonna leave it right there.
Transitional
Leave it right
radios.
there.
Yo, you know those radios that transition into into cars and then other.
Oh Lord.
It's radios that start as radios and then transitions into an actual car because that's how growth is. That's how growth works.
But nonetheless, we want to thank you guys for following and subscribing to us and listening to each one of our episodes.
Yeah,
Dude, all we ask is that you continue to spread our name, the Government Cheese Party Podcast.
2/3 of us definitely do that. The other third, feel free to fuck off anytime. So just put that out there.
as CJ is stuffing a cookie in her mouth saying, okay. But nonetheless, thank you guys. And continue to follow us, subscribe to us, and continue to spread our name across. The more and more that you guys spread our name, the more and more we can get more and more people to listen to our podcast.
That's how views work, yeah. The more, okay, all right, I'm stop fucking with you. Man, people are cool, right?
Yeah. You know what else is cool?
No,
We got a new pope. We got a new white pope.
Lord have mercy. Look, God, something so. Lord have mercy.
we got a new white pope, guys. they didn't change colors this time again. Awesome. We still.
I ain't lying.
Hey man, we got the whitest pope ever. Like that. That's the coolest thing. Oh, it's an American too, right? I don't give a
guess.
shit.
I mean, look, man. For everybody listening, for the audience out there, look, man. I gotta be honest. There ain't no color in being a pope, man.
Right.
Like there's like
This outfit is very colorful.
Yeah, all that
That's
white
about-
is so. It's like the most beautiful empty canvas you've ever seen in your life.
God forgive me. I'm done. I ended this
look,
conversation.
man. I talked to CJ about this earlier, and I'm like, as I think about it, and I'm sitting here paying attention to it.
Right.
I'm like, over the course of the time that I've been alive, there has literally not been no colored pope.
No color.
Zero.
Color pope. Where's the color pope at, man? Where's
The one time that I
where's the
actually seen
where's the flavored
How about
pope?
we just do a pope of the minority?
something, dude.
We haven't had a pope that has been black, Hispanic.
Look, man.
It's
all of
known
them
that
been-
Hispanics have a long line of being in the Catholic faith. So
Right.
like,
Yeah, I don't
and
see any of
I've
that.
never seen a Hispanic pope. So why is that?
Wait, there has been one actually.
Has there? Look,
Yeah.
what's his name?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me look it up.
I thought that's what I was thinking too when I was talking to Psycho J. I was like, I feel like there has to have had been
Because
one Hispanic or something.
Let's
The
be honest.
black people are usually not prone to go to Catholic faith.
But let's be honest
So-
here. Like
Pope Francis.
Pope Francis.
Yeah, he's the first Latin American pope.
Okay.
Was it the last one?
He had to
he
have been.
was Francis.
Oh, so yeah, the last one was the first
Had to
Hispanic.
been. Because every single time I look
Oh,
up,
I'm sorry.
it's a white one.
But it's Latin, not Hispanic. Oh no, it is Hispanic.
Yeah, it's got to be, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, yo, man, like, can't. And then we got into this full discussion about other things as well too. But it's like, okay, everything else has changed. We've already had a black president. We've already had other change of the guards of other things. Why can't there not be a black?
I don't think you really want to know the answer to that.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I probably won't because majority of the Catholic
he doesn't want to know the answer to that.
It's that's gonna get us in trouble, and I don't give a fuck, but I know you do. So I want to just warn you and say
Tread
you
lightly
don't want to know the answer to that.
I do want to know the answer.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this after we
Tread lightly.
we cut.
We most definitely.
And then you can decide whether or not you want to fucking.
We love the Pope, whatever color you are. Okay?
I'm not gonna lie, but the Pope's cool.
Yeah.
So this is where we draw the line.
Hey man, look, I'm not drawing a line. I'm just saying, like, to preserve what you value, I respect that, and I want you to be. I want to have this conversation outside of the podcast first because I have scathing perspective on the
I do
Catholic
too.
Church.
Don't get me wrong, I do too. But but I feel like I'm getting red taped.
You are.
Hey, you are for your own protection.
Yeah.
Look, man. Look, here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. I'm gonna go into it. Fuck it. The Catholic Church. Let me tell you the first thing.
And CJ Rich is signing off.
No, look. I just want to say this. The last pope. Great man. Honestly.
Oh yeah,
great man. As inclusive as he was, and as respectful as a pope he was to really showcase love, inclusion, and all that. Being
there's a lot
absolutely.
there was a lot of great things that I've heard and read on him.
Yeah.
Before his untimely passing.
Oh no, it was timely.
Well, it was timely.
It was very timely.
It was definitely
It was very timely. That man was ready to go.
No, look, okay, whoa. I'm not. Look,
word choices.
Yeah.
Oh, it was time.
Most of the time what I notice though too with the popes is that they come in already very old.
Yeah, they come in like 74, I think.
And that's
a large part of the problem that I wanted to ask as well too. Is like
they come in very old.
Why come in? Come in?
Jeremiah, try.
With that age,
I think it's because honestly, like with the type of doctrine that they
you have to hold to be a pope,
right? And they subscribe to. It takes damn near a lifetime to be able to get to that level anyway. So it would make sense. That's the thing. Like,
look at Mother Teresa.
Right.
When you say people like in that faith, saying like they have a lot of stipulations on them. This is not like becoming the president's hint. I'm sorry. I hate to say it, but Trump will never be a pope. Right. So
I hate to say it.
I don't hate to say it,
grateful.
but dang. But yeah, so I feel like it's a lot to go into it. It really is.
It is. It's kind of along the lines of being a doctor. At a certain point, you know what I'm saying. You get to that certain age where you
got the experience to be able to
but I'm just like like I said, they come in like you don't really know. Some of them, if they don't state like a lot of the stuff, like they don't look 74. Okay, I think he did come in at 74.
I think
around the 70s.
Yeah, so and he most definitely looked older than 74.
Oh yeah, no, without a doubt.
Right.
This one, the new one that just came in, he's at 69. So
Sexy.
Okay,
69. So he's
Sexy Pope.
Oh Lord, have mercy. Oh,
His
Lindora,
Pope
thank
sexy.
you.
really coming to her.
Well, look, man, it's okay to be a pope and sexy at the same
All right,
time.
so for the new
Alrighty.
people, the new people that has
About the sexy Pope now. Lord have mercy.
for the new people that have subscribed to us, welcome to the Government Cheese Party.
Fuck off, and also
Welcome to the family.
Want to give y'all a couple of disclaimers. Like we do hold nothing back
If they subscribe, they already know.
Well, they're probably fucked because at this point
yeah,
there's no topics.
It's
that
way
we,
too late. Way too late. Hey, man, but popes are weird, right?
They are. So is Cardinals. Cardinals are weird.
Yeah. The whole thing is strange. I still don't understand what they actually like rule over. If they are a ruler of anything, I don't understand it. I don't know what an actual pope. I don't know what a pope is
Everybody
based off of
respects
the Bible. Like, you know what I'm saying?
People respect them really heavy.
I mean that's true.
I mean,
I haven't seen a woman cardinal either. Like,
well, because they
just a
subscribe to the
nun.
Bible. I mean, they in the Bible.
they
the
just
Bible
stay as a
has-
nun.
Huh?
Do they just stay as a nun?
Yeah, they're nuns.
So
But
they
I mean,
don't
the
go
thing
any
is that
further
the
than
nuns are teachers and stuff. So like they really don't go. I feel like people pick and choose what they're gonna take from the Bible and use it. You get what I'm saying? Like, and that's legit what I feel like they do.
Well, the Catholics, nuns teach the children. So that's.
But
the
I
whole-
mean, the children become adults.
Yeah.
So in other words, we're teaching them.
Yeah, but the Bible. I mean,
So that means we're not supposed to teach them at all. Like we're not
No,
supposed to be
that's-
teachers
no,
of
not-
the word at all.
Oh no,
That's what it states though.
no. It says be a ruler over man. That they though it's so they could teach kids like that. Like that's
No.
that's.
We were having a good conversation until once again CJ decides to take it to the serious mountain and do serious things. No, I'm trying to have fun. God damn it! I don't fucking feel like doing all this
Right.
serious
State of
talk.
fact.
We've done serious talk last time.
Yeah, so fuck it. So yeah,
This is a fact.
so sexy pope, right?
You know that's borderline getting close to sexy red.
sexy. Oh god, dude, that's how. Explain that correlation.
Well, because
immediately, what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, because every single time you say sexy pope, somewhere, somehow, it ends up sexy red.
That's
in my
not
head.
explaining how the transition. You just said I told you to explain the transition, and you said somehow.
That is my transition.
He
That's
explained
bullshit.
it in Cycle J transitions.
So he doesn't. So you're just not going to explain this. What I
That's how he's just that's
somehow.
That's how it ends up in my head.
That's your explanation.
Yes, that's how
somehow
that
it happened. So those are my facts
It's
and
like-
my evidence
it's
that
like-
I'm presenting to the court, please. Somehow.
It's like an episode of Powerpuff Girls, like just putting the spice and everything nice,
Oh
and
my
then
God.
sexy red and sexy pope ends up being poof sexy red.
Okay, dude, that's ridiculous. All right, that you basically just said your explanation was basically over a series of events. It happened. That you cannot do that. I will not accept that. I think you just heard sexy and the Pope and Red and Cardinal all came to mind.
Yes, that's how that happened.
He said, with the Pope to Cardinal to Red to.
Yes, that's how that works. Yes.
That's so I explained your thought better than you do.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's how easy that is.
I need it. I got to find some way to benefit from this because I'm a steal a couple things every time I do that for you, and I'm not going to tell you what I stole from your house.
That's fair. That's fair.
Oh my god! So we're done talking about the Pope, please.
Yeah. I'm getting ready to transition to something.
I love your transitions because they're not subtle at all.
They're not. No.
All right, next subject.
So earlier today, I was scrolling on Facebook, and I seen like I think it was like a little piece that ESPN did with Deion Sanders, and it's kind of like that whole
topic is going to take me to something serious. You might want to back off.
No. Hold on. Whoa.
I'm just telling you what's about to happen.
All right, so
I'm warning you.
So it literally shows like the dad aspect of Deion.
Okay.
And a lot of his perspective and a lot of love and compassion towards both of his sons, Shador and Shiloh.
Oh God, those names. Shador and Shiloh.
Yeah.
That sounds like a Nickelodeon show.
But it actually showed it. I forgot this bit that they showed. It was the younger Shador Sanders and Deion, and they had this conversation of don't get mad at both mom and dad because they're both separated. The separation part. With most kids.
All right.
Deals with in their homes.
So they had a conversation telling them you can't be mad at us for.
Well, no, Deion was. I guess should.
Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
Shador was feeling
some sort of way.
Some sort of way.
About, okay, yeah, I can see that.
But it was a conversation that Deion was just like, if you're mad at me, you're mad at me. It is what it is.
Okay, accountability.
You're mad at your mother. You're mad at your mother. Don't. You know what I'm saying? I can't. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you how you feel.
Right. Okay.
But it was kind of like an intimate moment right then and there that kind of encapsulate how I kind of see Deion to begin with anyway. But the public always wanted to bash Deion for every little thing because, again, he was our first black African-American athlete that was flashy, in your face.
He's trying to make me go there.
Rambunctious, and
that can't be true though.
No, it's
Muhammad Ali. Bam.
I mean, yes,
okay.
Yes, football.
Oh,
but
well, you said athlete, so but yeah, okay, I got you. Yeah,
but it's just one of those things to where I'm kind of looking at it and I'm like, well, that's how they kind of portray us back in those days anyway, when we were football players or basketball players or boxing and stuff like that. Like, they've always portrayed us as this out of control
clowns,
black person,
yeah,
and
yeah.
But how is he out of control when you got these other dudes that's coming in here for nowhere and he made them respect the hell out of him, period. And when he was in the game, so why is it that they disrespect the shit out of him when he has his sons coming through, when the Manning brothers came through like there was no fucking problem? That pisses me off. That's why I said we're gonna go serious with this in a minute, because it's really this whole situation fucks me up.
Well, then here's the other thing, because they just did a Deion documentary of when he played football and baseball at the same time, and how much those baseball people didn't like Deion because of the very fact of him not committing to baseball fully,
right,
and having to have a split shift of football and basketball and baseball at that same juncture.
He cut the line.
Right.
He cut the line. I mean, look. I understand the frustration with Deion's situation and everything, but I gotta play devil's advocate. You know what I mean, like you can't you can't have such a obnoxious presentation and in the way that you present yourself and present your arguments and do. I mean, he's Showtime. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that alone is screams obnoxiousness. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I understand the entertainment portion of it, but you're talking about a company, and a company gets to decide how their image, how they want to portray their image. So when you take like I said, like when you talk about like Muhammad Ali, didn't have to conform to a company. No, he could have a brand, and this is the beautiful thing about boxing and other freelance free contract sports, where you can do that because your brand is your brand, and whatever consequences come with that is on you. Right. But when we have a company, $1 billion company, or just any company at all, that where you are contradicting their brand and what they want to be all about, you can't be mad when they don't choose you. Yeah. I mean, when it's all about performance says everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you go out there, do all your have record-breaking yards and all that stuff, that speaks for itself. But when you get into a preference thing, which is basically everything that's going on right now, is pure preference. Yeah. No one's saying that Shador and Shiloh aren't talented. They're saying that we don't prefer we don't prefer the extra stuff that they're going to bring. That's valid. Yeah. I don't like it neither. But you got to be honest. That's valid. Yeah, when you're looking at a business aspect, I completely get it from that perspective. Right. When you're looking at drafting.
Now, when you have the thing is that Deion Sanders was business for the NFL. Period.
He was.
He brought millions of dollars to the NFL.
He was. And he brought.
And how are we to know he a lot of that shit we already know that Deion Sanders was like back, especially in those times. He wasn't acting just off of his words and what he was told to do some of that shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, so it's not it. I just feel like I said, they play with the minds of the people that are running your whole entire association pretty much. Like, if I promise you, like what happened with what's that boy's name? I can never say that boy's name. Colin. I know
Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah. Kaepernick. There you go. I can never say that boy's last name right unless somebody else says it first. But so, like what happened with him and the whole scenario with the whole kneeling and stuff like that, it could get a lot further. And the way times are, Trump is in office. There's a lot of stuff going on. If black people were to pull out of the NFL, it'll shut that shit down.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
No, I agree with that.
And I feel like you cannot pick and choose. It's already bad enough that y'all still use the same tactics of slavery to bring them the fuck in. You get what I'm saying? Like that's too much.
But we all know that. I mean, like if that's what they signed up for. Yeah. I mean, it is. I mean,
a lot of them sign up because they need the money, though. It's not even about.
But that doesn't excuse them from the choices that they make. See, that's just what it is. We gotta understand that life is still life. Life is still going to hit the same fucking way, no matter how you fucking feel, and that's the choices they make. Now, the problem is that we've gone hundreds of years at this point, and haven't given ourselves other options, even though we've had nothing but time.
And I agree with that. I agree with that. Yes.
I'm not mad at the $1 billion companies and all that stuff. They're doing their job. We're not doing our fucking job when we had opportunities to start our own shit, and we didn't because it was easy to piggyback on their shit. That's where I'm pissed off at.
Yeah. So.
Do you think it was easy that we piggybacked off their stuff, or is it because we kind of get blocked or redlined when it comes to doing our own shit?
There was
both. I would say both.
It's both.
Because you can't say one without the other. Because honestly, when you try to do stuff to piggyback off of them, then that's when they decide, well, you can't do that because we do that, and blah blah blah, and here's the red tape. You can't do that. So yeah, in a way, it's both.
Right.
But also too, we also had this discussion with Allen Iverson, and the whole
that whole situation pissed me off too.
And the whole. Now I love Scoop Jackson. Scoop Jackson does a tremendous job at ESPN doing some of the documentaries, and he did a very, very tremendous job with the Allen Iverson practice speech that Allen Iverson did back in 2005.
Right.
Now, everyone has to understand, 2005. We're not. This ain't 1998. This ain't 2010. No, this is the prime 2000s where most of the racial tension is pretty much still at that point and peak of it. So Scoop really just laid it out. Like, yo, Allen Iverson went to the finals, lost in the finals. Tough way to lose in the finals. They lost. Allen Iverson lost his friend, I want to say a couple of days before the finals started, or before the last of the finals ended. Mm-hmm. You're asking Allen Iverson about practice and why you hadn't showed up for practice.
Right.
Now we all know the whole rant and everything else.
Yeah.
But that kind of that kind of shows still in the ignorant part of. You already been told that he lost his friend. He's already emotional, and on top of that, he done lost the finals.
Right.
At that same juncture.
Right.
And now you're sitting here criticizing me of not putting my all into a game.
Right.
That these basketball players do on a night-to-night basis. Man.
So
getting paid millions of dollars to pretty much entertain you.
Right.
And that's all. That's how you come up to a person that is still human,
right? But here's where I know what I'm saying is probably not going to be taken very well. Is that I understand and completely agree that it's atrocious the way they treated him and the way they treat other people, with it. But my thing still remains is that if we're going to completely continue to contribute to the monster, we cannot fucking be feel entitled to to feel like we're being done wrong and that's their fault.
Oh, that's factually correct.
That's my whole thing. Until we put our resources together as we have in the past, but we no longer have a way of doing it apparently, and until we take accountability for what we can control. I'm not going to spout any type of blame and hate towards. I mean, that's already there. We already know they're fucking wrong. But to put everything on that is basically trying to release responsibility. Right. How they treat us is fucked up. Yeah. What the fuck are we going to do about it? And I don't want to hear any any excuses anymore. You know what I mean? If we're going to continue to contribute to the monster, we got to deal with that monster. Yep. Or let that monster deal with us.
That's right.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, but like I said,
what's it?
So, anyways, Sexy Pope, right? And I just want to say, I love Dion. I love Dion. I love what he stands for. I love I love the type of man that he is. I love that. I love his energy. It's all great. You know what I mean? But everything is just evidence of where we actually are. And
You know, it's crazy though, because we do have people out there that have the money that are trying to start.
Yeah,
it,
and that's
but
the
they're
fucked
not-
up part, right?
It's like you have the people out there, the resources that are trying to do it. Look at Cube, Ice
Yeah.
Cube. You know what I'm saying? He started that league. And they literally were shitting on him the whole time.
Right.
The NBA.
And the NBA itself, you know what I'm saying, is shitting on him the whole time.
And who stood up for him?
God,
See, I mean, the fact that it takes that long to even come up with the fact that we haven't stood up for him the way that a Jew would stand up for another fucking Jew is fucking
you know who
crazy.
stands up for him is the other rappers. I've seen it. Like the amount of support that I've seen, like the Snoop Dogg's, the comedians, Kevin Hart.
Not just the rappers.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many of them that have stood
Not just
ground
the
with him.
rappers.
Not just rappers. It's been
But there's been some ex Hall of Fame, basketball.
basketball
Okay.
people are coming into there.
But
it's not
they were
enough
under the big three
when
but
it comes
still,
to.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right, but
It's not enough when it comes to us
Exactly.
as
It's
civilians.
not enough.
Because our dollar is what turns the NBA.
exactly.
And until our dollar goes into what it is righteous, then nothing
would ever change.
Nothing's going to change.
And nothing else ever matters at that point. Because,
the
because-
black dollar actually is a way more. It's crazy how that works. How we are supposedly the lower class, right? We're
Right.
considered lower class citizens. We're considered all this and stuff. But with our dollar, the amount of money that we spend, we could shut down the fucking world if we stopped.
Right, but also like when you think about the reality of the situation, when you talk about those organizations, without black support, there is no organization. I mean, when you talk about black dollar, okay, yeah, absolutely right. But what about the fact that 95% of the roster of starting rosters in the NBA
and in the
are
NFL.
black?
Yeah.
And you take that away, what are you left with? Nothing.
Right. I mean, not saying that there ain't no white boys or other boys out there that can't play.
5% of
But-
them.
Right. But it's not like they can't play. It's the only problem is that right now, as it stands, if all of the African American players were to leave, or anybody that has African descent were to leave the NBA or the NFL,
The NBA wouldn't exist.
neither one of them would
NFL,
exist.
NBA would not exist.
Here's the
They would
thing.
have baseball.
Yeah.
Right.
Here's the thing.
And even there, they don't have it
Even
because
there-
Yeah,
because
there's
they
Spanish.
have like they in Spanish. That you got Dominicans and shit there. Like that's not the same.
So-
They're still minority.
Newsflash for everyone that's listening. You want to know how you destroy an infrastructure from the inside? Very simple. Unity. It has to be unity amongst all. Is it hard to do? Yeah, because there's a lot of sensibilities and a lot of self exploitations that everyone has.
Right.
But guess what?
It's necessary.
At the end of the day, which thing is more necessary? Which part of this that you don't understand that you can literally single-handedly, and I'm even talking about the American people, even in the United States. How many of us is surrounded this country that can literally just do one fucking thing, one simple thing, and that's come as one to just say, yo, I'm not doing this no more.
Yeah, but when are you going to be sick and tired of being sick and tired? Because that's where it really boils down to. Like, I think at the end of the day, we always hollering that we're tired of seeing this and we're tired of seeing that, but we're not actually acting on what we're tired of seeing. When are you going to be sick and tired of being sick and tired?
Well, I think there's a lot of. Well, speaking from my experience and just from my perspective, when I found myself at that point being sick and tired of being sick and tired, the only thing that was left is to be honest with my situation and just say some things are just not worth it. some things are just not worth the time. It's not worth the effort. And I put my faith in God. What his will comes first, and that's literally where it ends with me because I had a whole conversation with my sister about this just earlier today, and we was talking about the our situation as black folk and all that stuff, and even as minority stuff, and Nation of Islam and a whole bunch of stuff came up, and I mean I'm just I told her is like there's so much that I learned and in my between my high school and early 20s that the information that I gained from those, not even high school, I'm elementary really, because the information that I gained from that, the only thing it's done for me up to this point is scare the fuck out of me. Because when I realize and I see the patterns that are revealing themselves every day, it literally has the effect of driving a person in fucking insane. Yeah. Because I'm seeing the same shit happen on a different degree. Yeah. And it's happening over and over again. Yeah. So my thing is like I can't hope to change any of this shit. I'm not going to try to change this shit. All the thing I can do is what I can do, and and be truth and honest to my Lord and Savior.
That's it.
That he'll handle it, because otherwise I'm going to go crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's happening already. You get what I'm saying? What you were explaining, even though like we, I would hope that this father had, the Lord in his heart. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, that Rodney Hinton's Jr.'s thing, the situation where his son was killed and he went and he killed an officer because of it. He looked at it as an eye for an eye. Right. The world is turning into that. Right. Now I know it's not of God, obviously, to unalive another person or to kill a person, however you want to put it. It's not of God to do that, right? But it's like on this world, and I hate to say "but" behind that because there shouldn't be no buts. We do what God says, and that's it, right? But in this world, in the way that it's turning at this moment, this is what it's turning into. Right. So an eye for an eye. And I feel like even when it comes to like the business aspect of it, are we doing an eye for an eye by starting our own organization, by pulling out? You get what I'm saying? Like by pulling out of the like, say for instance, if all the guys were to decide to go ahead and pull out of the NBA, right, and go start our own company, wouldn't that still be the same as eye and eye, because we literally are dead in their whole company by leaving?
No, it's not. Because
I'm asking, right. Like I'm just asking, right. As general. But for him, that's how he felt it with his son when his son was killed. No matter if his son was in the wrong, when it comes to, I don't know what, from my understanding, I've heard several little stories about it. From my understanding, the car place that he was buying from said that he pretty much stole the car. The car was stolen because he had missed the payment.
Oh, wow.
And so they automatically assumed that it was a theft of a car. Mm-hmm. And that's one story, right? The other story that it was an actual stolen car and that he was running or resisting arrest, right? Hence why they grabbed the guns or whatever. But looking at the videos from my perspective, and I watched this video several times over and over and over again, and I'm like there was other alternatives to what that officer could have did than to kill that boy. He shot him. He was running. He was running. His back was to him. Although they found firearm in the car or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But he didn't have the firearm on him. He was running.
So they shot him in the back?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
And so, but they're still I mean, I think what pisses me off so much about this situation is the father hurting, grieving, mentally, or not, I'm pretty sure he mentally checked out. Right, that's his only child. He's mentally checked out at this point. He runs his car into that sheriff's officer. I don't know if you heard the story or whatever. No. Okay, so
I mean, I've heard of, I know that it happened, but I just haven't heard.
Yeah, so he took his car and turned his car into a lethal weapon and killed that sheriff's officer. That didn't have nothing to do with it, but he was looking at you matched the description. Right. You get what I'm saying? Which right. All in itself is funny because that's what they use on us to kill us off too, right? So I feel like, what I'm saying, and then when they took him, when he went to trial or he went to court for his, I think it's arraignment or whatever, what I'm saying, to plead guilty or not guilty. I don't know if it was, I don't remember what it was exactly, but they had 30 or more sheriff's officers giving him the death stare all the way in.
He looked at every one of them.
And he looked at held his head high. Right. Is that what Black America's turning into? Well, and what do you think about that? Do you think that is necessary to get to that point? To do an eye for an eye.
I think it's natural.
That you hijacked this show.
I love you. I love you. I every once in a while, that it just comes out of me. I can't help it. I'm sorry.
I mean, I think it's natural. I mean, I think it's strange that this hasn't happened sooner.
Facts. That's exactly what I was thinking.
But at the same time, I mean, like to be completely honest and objective over everything. I mean, I can understand that I can't justify someone's actions, but also be able to admit that I can understand them.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, because and anyone who can't differentiate that and can't do that, you're small-minded. You know what I mean? Like I can't respect the opinions of anyone who can't do something as basic as admit that they understand it, but also they can't justify it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, if you can't do that, then there's no conversation to be said. You know what I mean? Because when you take all the facts and everything in account, we should at least come to terms on the most basic of things. And we can only come to terms with on the most basic of things for us to have a conversation about it. You know what I mean? But again, you have so many people who are so caught up in their own bullshit, their own selfishness, their own ego, their own delusion of reality, and I do mean delusion of reality. Nice. There's no way to have a conversation with them.
Yeah, I mean, when I tell you that, like, everything inside of me, like, I've watched the videos of all the other people that have been talking about it, and these scenarios that keep on coming up, right? This is the first time that I'm at. I feel bad about what I feel in some sense, right? Because like I don't wish death upon nobody, right? That's just never will be within me, But I feel like, oh my gosh, like it's almost like it's right.
It's
I don't even believe in I don't believe in the death penalty. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, that's just kind of where I'm at. Like, I don't believe in the death, but right. And maybe it's because I'm a mother of two sons. Like,
so, I mean,
it's hard. It's so hard to like, and I don't know. Like, that's a hard scenario because now that man can't go back to his family, but at the end of the day, I'm sorry, but that child is not coming back to me, and that's how he was looking at it, and I see it.
When you live by principle, there's a lot. There's no white and white and black when you live by principle. Mm-hmm. Everything's gray. Yeah. And again, you have to be able to discern your position, right, and be able to live by it. That's why you live by the principle. You know what I mean? And if you can't do that, you need you got a lot of growing the fuck up to do.
Right.
I when I look at it and I look at the situation, I can say that I understand it. I understand his frustration.
I can't even say that I would do the same thing that he did.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like I cannot.
Anybody who's honest with himself would feel the urge to do what he did.
Yeah.
And
and just hope to God that I have somebody that kind of stands in the way to make sure I don't do it. You get what I'm saying? Like, so I don't, like I said, at this point, I feel like we lost 2 men instead of just one. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I in some sense, and because once he gets in there, you got all those the sheriff deputies. They usually help the jail systems, the prison systems, and stuff like that. So just imagine he's going to be known as this cop killer or this sheriff killer or whatever, and how they gonna treat him in there. So it's just like he gets to die over and over. Not that he gives a fuck, because I know he don't, because he stands ground on what he feels.
But also inmates outnumber officers. So
I mean that's
he
true.
Might be okay.
he might be. It's the truth. That's the truth. But I'm like, it's just like, how many times have you heard an outburst of something like that in the prison?
What?
How many times have you heard an outburst in the prison system like that? Do you think that it's going to cause an outburst in the prison system?
No.
I didn't think so. I don't think so either. But at the end of the day, they slick. They slick. I feel bad. I mean, I don't see him. You know how he said Puff Daddy wasn't going to survive up in the prison system? Right. I don't think that man's going to survive.
I don't know. I think anything can happen. I think he's probably gonna be a hero when he steps in there with other inmates, and and that's gonna count for something. But who knows? But
yeah. Sorry about that, Psycho J. That situation kind of rang true when it came to what we were talking about. So yeah.
True. Thank you guys for listening to the Government Cheese Party podcast. Appreciate you guys. Continue to spread the word, Government Cheese Party. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. There's a lot.
Fuck TikTok.
And YouTube. Thank you guys. See y'all next week. Have a good one.